I just want to encourage the female folks out there, do something like this. Start small, just a small garden, enjoy it, do some vegetables. Next time you enjoy those vegetables, you start thinking about planting 1 or 2 trees, and then you start enjoying it. If all of us could do this, Zambia would be a beautiful country to live in. I live in the city, but I want to be sustainable where food is concerned. So for me, sustainability, I'm sustainable with food, I'm sustainable with energy, I'm sustainable with water.
Wow. I'm
also sustainable with shelter, like you can see. Self-sustainable in energy. So this is one of them. This is an outside kitchen where we are using gas for that stove. But in case there is no gas, you can also use wood in there. This is a wood stove. So if you don't have wood, sometimes we use charcoal on top there. That's why that thing is there on top. You use charcoal, and normally when we have functions, we will be using wood here, and then they will be drying here, and then the gas stove will be working. I don't even use the electrical stove anymore.
Now this kitchen is magnificent. This is where people come to prepare for the Chilanga Mlilos.
Yes, yeah, it's a popular place for Chilanga Mlilo, this one. Yes. And now this is a duck pen. You can even go in there. So the chickens that have to my babies, we bring them here, like that one, so that it's away from the confusion of the other chickens until the chickens are bigger. That's when. Right now, I'm not using the incubator. I'm using the chickens to incubate. And then there's a duck with ducklings down there also.
Okay, so this is where it's like the nursery area where they can
area, yes.
And these are the broilers?
These are the broilers that I keep for some time until they are big for us to start eating.
Were you doing quail at some point?
Yes, this was how did you know you are doing
I've seen people. I wanted to do it at some point.
Okay.
And then I heard someone say, those things, it's just a mouthful. All that work and it's just a mouthful.
But it's
so I'm like,
there's too much work. So this was a quail house.
Yeah. No, I think you're better off with chickens. And look at your ducks. Is this a particular breed of duck or?
So this is a mixture. These are Peking ducks, the white ones.
Okay.
These are our common ducks. Yeah. So the Peking ducks, they are the ones which make noise a lot.
It's good for security.
But they are good for production.
Okay, they multiply quickly.
These things can lay eggs. Even fed, one duck can lay even fed. Now they are not this time around because I normally do my own hatch. I'm not doing it because of power.
No, this is lovely. Very creative, very resourceful. So you said you're growing, the space you actually use for growing is maybe only about 100 square meters.
100 square meter, yes.
And then a little bit for the chickens and ducks.
Yes. So now here in the rainy season, I'm thinking of putting up something here.
This is deep shade now.
Yeah.
Is it like this the whole day?
It's like this the whole day.
Yeah.
So this is why things can't grow here. Even this was growing space where I've put entertainment area. It was growing space. Now nothing was growing because of the trees. Look, it will be like this the whole day. So here you have peaches, you have avocado, hibiscus, and papaya, the mulberry. Like now they've made now to form this
amazing.
shade.
This is an amazing space.
So this is these are nurseries. So instead of, this was a flower pot. I took out the flower and then put in fruits. Because as you are going inside the house, if there are nurseries like this two here, you pick and eat. You see these two are coming up.
And you know, they've got that nice scent with the flowers and the fruit, so it always just kind of...
So these are just growing in the pot. So now, to attract the bees now. This was a dead point. Sometimes I will even park the car here. It was so a dead point. So I said, no. I just started it. Was it last year? Let me put something there or the other year. Now this is now the where I'm doing flowers. I wasn't into like flowers like my friend in the other road, but now I'm just picking whatever I pick. Let me see if it will grow. This is
beautiful.
This is the result.
This is like Eden.
And you know, people are saying, what do you give them? I said, I just give them love.
That's it.
Then they will grow.
That's it.
This was covered. Now, you know, the watering has become a problem. So in the rain season, I'll put some more flower pots on top.
And I think this is a wonderful example of, because in here, in this small space, which is about 2 by 3 meters, you must have more than 50 pots. You know?
Yes.
And you can see the full effect that those few pots are giving. You know, you set it up so yeah, there's no room for sitting, but it is a good inspiration for people who don't have gardens. So if you're in a flat or in a, you know, you have a small outside space, you know, even if you just look at the top area there, you can create a very thick jungle just by using containers and putting the proper soil. I think the other good thing about this is it's not in full sun the whole day, so it gets just enough sun and then a lot of shade.
The energy, full energy support, I have solar panels which are supporting me with the fridge. They power the fridge and the bulbs. Yeah, so
I think that's the thing.
There's no Zesco. I have.
You don't miss it?
I don't miss Zesco. I don't. And then when I want to pump, like there is no Zesco for so many days, I want to pump water, I use a genset. Yeah, you pump, then you put the genset away. That's it. You have water.
So I think those are the things people are now thinking about, and it looks like you're well ahead of the curve in terms of just creating options around your house so that you can continue functioning.
That's a homestead.
That's a homestead. It's a homestead. And so generally for your family, how many people do you feed on a weekly basis with the things from your garden? And what do you buy?
I just, like I said earlier, I just buy cooking oil and I wished I wasn't buying cooking oil and the mealie meal part. But the food part, I feed the family here, we are 5. And then I feed the family in phase 1, my mother's side. My mother is in phase 1. So there are 6 now. So we are, self-sufficiency. Every time we have something to eat, let me show you the bananas that we just harvested. Here, this is a banana thing. We are not using chemicals. So we just pluck it and then put it in a sack for it to ripen on its own. These, I use them as storage containers. I'll put rice in here or beans or bananas in here, then put them in the fridge. So it's even ripe. You can even taste some.
Ooh, bananas from the house. From
the house, yeah. So, you know, we are not doing those, like you spray chemicals so that they are ripe. No, we keep them in a bag like this. And then start eating them. That's the incubator. That's the incubator for eggs. Now, you know, incubators, they have those, they work like, they have coils, like, they work like
ovens.
So they draw a lot of electricity. So with solar, they don't work. So we're depending on Zesco for incubation. Now with prolonged hours, I just did away with, I'm depending on the hens to sit on the eggs. So here are some of the things that like this is parsley. Some of the things that I keep after harvesting. This is dried candolo. I don't know, dried sweet potato. So once you are stranded, like there's COVID-19, this is sun-dried cabbage.
Nice.
You just soak it in warm water, it will come back to normal. So these are the, when I'm like, really want to work hard, because it's work. You are drying things, you are keeping them and things like that. You have, no, I fill up this whole thing. This is also
blackjack.
Bean leaf.
Oh, okay.
But you cook it and then dry it. Hibiscus leaves. I pick them.
Oh, these are the actual leaves, not the flowers.
Flower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Parsley.
Parsley, basil.
And tomato, do you have?
Tomato, they are finished because we normally use them when we are off season. I normally use them. So, like I said, you came when I'm at 50% production.
I'm scared to see what you're like at 100.
At 100, it's
I
busy.
can't even imagine. Because it means like every weekend you're harvesting, plucking,
yes,
fishing, whatever.
Yes.
Just and then
every week there's something to do every time here. Something to do. It's never a dull moment.